Do we deserve damnation? We all sin, so shouldn't we be condemned as a result? For us, Jesus died on a cross so our sins may be forgiven. In Ultrakill, no such figure appears to save humanity. God in Ultrakill is a complex character, and in this video I have compiled all the information we have about him to try and understand his thought process for the big man upstairs. So without further ado...
Mankind is a failure. Free will is a flaw. Let the evil of their own lips consume them. Then I shall begin again with my word as law.
Testament 1. We learn that God regrets his creation of humanity. He sees free will as a mistake, and is that disgusted by humanity, he'd rather leave them to their own devices to let them wipe each other out than intervene and help. He'd rather let Earth rot and start anew, where he's the one and only true ruler, where everyone is at his feet bowing, subjects to his will and desires. God wanted control, and when he couldn't have that, he was filled with rage. God in Ultrakill is a complete contrast to the God in the Bible. In the Bible, God is forgiving to all who seek forgiveness. He is kind to those who are kind. Genesis 1:28 reads, "And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish in sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." God doesn't regret free will in the Bible. He sees mankind as corrupt, and seeks to redeem them through faith. But God in Ultrakill, he sees their sins as unforgivable. This stark contrast makes clear that the God in this universe is not the one we all know.
Failure after 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 failure. The results refuse to alter. Again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again and again. My faith begins to falter.
Testament 2. God tries constantly to create a world in his image, like he had promised in the previous testament. Worlds where he ruled, worlds without free will, but they all fail. Again and again and again. The more his new civilizations fail, the more it drives him mad. The more it sends him into a frenzy. The more he starts to doubt his own power. His own power. That's it. If he can't succeed in making a perfect world, he'll punish those for surviving on an imperfect one.
Uncountable cycles of creation. Wasted. Uncountable formulas for a mind without free will. Wasted! Damned is man for failing to follow my rule, my word, my law! Damned to an eternity of torture and suffering, the wailing and gnashing of teeth. I have created hell.
Testament 3. Out of a fit of rage for failing to create his perfect world, for wasting his time, God decides to condemn mankind for living, but using the very thing he granted them. He subjects them to endless suffering for having free will, for not following his orders. This is part of what makes God in Ultrakill human, compared to the God in the Bible. In the Bible, God is a figure who will kill without mercy and deem it as justice, but he would never kill irrationally and would rather have a reason for doing so. The God in Ultrakill, on the other hand, flew into a fit of rage and doomed mankind out of jealousy, clearly implying that this God is not on a level of reasoning that the one in the Bible is. At the end of the Testament, we find out that he is not omnipotent. He has created something he cannot undo. He created a living being that devours the souls of those he deems unworthy of his love, and he can't get rid of it. He doesn't have the power to do so. This yet again solidifies the humanity of Ultrakill's God, showing he is nothing like the biblical one. This God is not a creator. He is not fit to be a ruler. He's an experimentalist. He makes things and suffers the consequences of which he cannot control. We see a glimpse of remorse for what he has done. His rage is clearly indicated by capital letters, but at the end when he says, "And now I can no longer unmake it," it is replaced with lowercase ones, clearly implying something other than anger.
Father, why eternal torment? Is it not cruel? Is torture unending truly a fate fit for a fool?
An angel, so bright and beautiful, asked me this, and I could find no answer. For I could never face the guilt of what I'd done. My regret, a gnawing cancer. In my hour of weakness, terror possessed me then, and I cast Lucifer, too, into the eternal den. Once I had realized what I had just done, I could only weep as I sank slowly into the depths of despair. Deep. Oh, so deep.
Testament 4. God recounts a question Lucifer asked him. Well, less of a question and more of a plea to him, questioning his authority, his reasoning, his actions. Eternal punishment is not something he can take back, and with Lucifer demanding an answer, God cannot deliver. Job's 38-41 reads, "Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind, Gird up your loins like a man. I will question you, and you declare to me. Will you even put me in the wrong? Will you condemn me that you may be justified? Have you an arm like God, and can you thunder with a voice like his?" In this verse, God challenges Job's understanding of divinity. When Job questions him due to his suffering, God makes it clear what his job and place is in this world, and it is that of Creator. He parades Job with questions he cannot answer. This testament flips the script, however, showing God is unable to answer a question asked by one of his loyalist followers. He then clarifies how he feels: guilty. He describes his regret as a gnawing cancer, terminal and eating him alive day by day. It then reveals that for his insolence, Lucifer was cast to hell as terror possessed God, and once it sank in what he had done, he broke down.
I am hollow. My mistakes leave nothing but hate in their wake, and infinite pain to follow. I can't take any more of this guilt and regret. For me, there is no tomorrow. I am hollow. I began to seek the end of my days, but when I stared into the abyss averted its gaze.
Testament 5, the final one as of now, shows God's full descent into madness. He realises the mistakes he has made and acknowledges how much pain and suffering he has caused to others. He blames no one but himself for all the wrong that has ever happened, and when he looks to end his reign, he stares into the abyss, but rather than the darkness staring back, it averts its gaze. This is a metaphor for the fact that even when he wishes to end it all, not even the sweet release of death will take him. He is made to live forever, knowing what he has done, and feel guilty for it. God's whereabouts is unknown as of now. All we do know is that he is not present in heaven, which Gabriel makes clear at the end of Act 2. We now have a canon design for God, which brings up an interesting theory I have. We see God as a statue holding the earth, but the earth isn't the part I'm concerned about. It's his physique. He looks like a demon. Hear me out here. What if hell, because we know that hell is a living entity, tried to make creatures in the image of God for whatever reason? Maybe it was to appease Lucifer. We do know that Lucifer is hell's favourite person. It was made clear in the book that just came out in 8-3. It could be to mock God, to show him the grotesque creations that hell can make, to try and remind him of himself maybe. Or maybe this just isn't God, I mean, the lair is called Fraud, and the trailer did say to not trust anything you see, so this very well could just be hell at work. Or maybe I'm just overthinking things and completely overcomplicating things like the last video. Either way, leave your theories in the comments, I would always love to hear them. Ta-ta now!